Channels cut out in the energy wing, and wooden block ready to go in. It's a hell of a thing to shape this was, but got it done. Plenty of carbon toes as well. That's going on the leading edge. I don't know if you can see very well. I've hit out this leading edge here about 1/4 of an inch, 6mm, and that's going to be solid carbon there, so that will tie the bottom and the top skins together and give it a bit of impact resistance for small shrubs. Okay, going to get all that laminated and stuck down tonight. I've got to weight the back end of the fuselage a bit as well. Where I've taken the foam out, it's just a little bit springy on this back end, so I've got to weight that down, and that's what the blocks are doing there, is to hold it all in place. Energy nose has been sanded down, well, as much as I'm going to do. I went down to about 350 grit. There's still a few little dips in it, but that'll do. I'll sand the rest out of the mould. It's just an experimental thing, really. Okay, it's my usual method. So on a splitter plate is drew round the pattern just roughly, and if you can see, I'm probably a good 1/8 of an inch wider all the way around in most places. I'm not too fussy about how close I get. I shall fill all that up with a splooge, an epoxy and microballoon splooge. Glued the splitter plate onto the polystyrene, scraped it out a bit with a little rasp so as the plug would fit down in there, and I put some masking tape on there so as I can see when it's just halfway down. Set it into my plaster and got it level on the end here, just right, and yeah, that's ready. Letting that dry, and then I'll start waxing and PVAing at the plug and get that splooge poked in all the way around once I've got the plug completely waxed and PVA'd, so as nothing will stick. Then sand it down flush and ready to make a mould. Anyone that's following this and thinking, well, it's a great way of doing it, well, it's, I don't know, I just find it an easy way. Other people have different methods. You have to bear in mind as well, I've been working with plaster for 30 odd years, so when plaster gets old it goes off quick. It's no good for plastering anymore, and you either throw it away or use it for something else, and this is where my method's adapted from, is to use it for something else. And yeah, probably with new plaster it wouldn't work so well. You'd be waiting a couple of hours for it to go hard, whereas with the old plaster, when the bag's been opened for like 3 months or more, you can pretty much say it's gonna go from a loose sort of wetness to pretty stiff in about 10 minutes. You know, so therefore, you know, it's too quick to ever work with, really, apart from doing tiny little patches and repairs. So plasterers end up with a lot of it, and it usually goes in the skip or gets used for something else. Going to be the tip shape, and I've decided I'm going to call it Carve. Good a name as any.